Thanks. So I'm really, it's truly awesome that you guys are here today. And whenever I get a group, even of this size, I like to tell a tale that's really important to me. So I know what you're thinking with that last song. You were probably thinking, wow, Joanna, you are such an awesome guitar player. Right? Like, burning it up. How did you learn to do that? And probably you're from NYU or you're like local-ish. You walk around a lot. Vanessa? Yeah. Do you have the flyer? So a lot of you might have seen a flyer around. That's that looks like this. Okay. Okay, so the following is a cautionary tale. Details may or may not be true. Dan Smith will teach you to play guitar. At least that's what it said on the flyer at my laundromat. And when I saw the same flyer 30 blocks south, I said, Dan Smith's the man to teach me what it's all about. Dan Smith is clearly a man with a plan, or a Kinko's, or a copier, or a part-time office job. That's how it all began with Dan. Dan Smith will teach you to play guitar, but he also has unusual aptitude for fashion. And he's oh so charming when he meets your friends, and he can cook when he wants to. That Dan, long will I remember that late September day when he said, you should dress like the young Barbara Streisand and wear turtlenecks and pants. And I love that he was taking away my decision-making responsibility. That was awesomely relaxing. So I took that chance on pants on Dan. I thought I will make Dan Smith the center of my life. He will love me, and one day he will make me his wife. I don't care if he's not ready, has no salary, and lives with 3 guys in an apartment with no heat or electricity. He's honest, clean, and pure. He's not a poser and no priors. And he's getting 2 new students every week just from his flyer. So you find yourself eating in a diner with Dan, and his friend Bad Kevin is out waiting for the van, and then Bad Kevin comes back in with a black eye and says, that's the way it sometimes goes. And you think maybe this crowd isn't good for me. Then Dan sings you a song he wrote. When the sea breaks into chanson of tranquility. And you're like, wow, I didn't know you knew so much about the sea. I can't stay mad at you! Dan Smith will someday form a band, and they'll sing many songs that sound like other songs you know. He has a cousin with a station wagon and a hankering for travel, so they pick a state and book a show. Before you know it, Dan's on tour. He calls you my faraway amour. And he says, hang on baby, I just gotta pass this J, and it sounds like there's a party in the room. And you want to give him space and love and freedom, of course he has to pass that J. But could he say to whom? So even though you thought you were too cool to entertain such petty jealousies, you board a plane, and you dress in mohair camel, and you wonder how you're drowning in that chanson of tranquility now. And the first morning, 20 minutes gone, you have 3 fights, but you're really only there to check on how he spends his nights. So you find yourself in Louisville in the front seat of a Honda with a really young and stacked bipolar lap dancer named Rhonda. Dan's in the back, and he's laughing as you blink and stare at the vodka in a plastic cup she likes to drink while driving and complaining, I just hate that many bitch! Like she can do much better when she pays! And she's speaking of her boss, who runs the bar where she stole that vodka, hit on Dan, and asked him where he plays. Only 2 more days in Louisville with shame, says Dan, and then he smiles at her and sings to her name. And Rhonda says, hey, I can score some coke tonight. And Dan says, Rhonda, Rhonda, girl's all right. And you're like, I'm right here, I'm in the car. Yeah, you're in the car, and you're tired because the plane didn't land right away, and you had to circle and you're wearing this fucking ugly mohair sweater that you got at the Salvation Army because you thought it made you look like the young Barbra Streisand, but you don't. You look like your low school music teacher. And you're scared because you're in the car with this, I am a feminist and I don't like to use this word like it's derogatory, but a drunk stripper! And Rhonda smells her opportunity for a kill. She's like, hey, you scared right now, ain't you? And Dan says, you got to trust people more. And you're like, you know what? I don't fucking think I do. I think that I'm in a car with a drunk stripper who got her license taken away 3 times in the last 2 years. You didn't think I heard you, did I? I heard you. And that's the only reason I'm scared. I'm scared because, damn, the man who I thought was going to just envelop me with his sweet musicianship and teach me chords and all that kind of stuff, damn, thinks he can't be a true artist unless he gets himself killed before he's 40. Jesus Christ, Dan. I heard even Bad Kevin is going back to school. And all my positions and system like his friend Tuck. Jesus Christ, Rhonda, those other cars are not made of styrofoam, There are consequences to your actions. Some things are just not worth it. Some things are just not worth it. Hey, Dan and Rhonda, you see that convenience store up there? Why don't you just let me out and I will go and buy you some orange juice for later, that one right there. And you get out of the car and you use your cell phone to call a cab to go to the airport, and you never hear from either of them again. G, C, G, D, E minor, C, A minor, D. Dan Smith will teach you to play guitar. As for any other lessons that you derive, they have more to do with growing old and up and deciding just what it is that makes you feel alive. I don't know where Dan is now, but his flyers hang on every public place that will allow them. It's your opportunity. You can grow up, you can grow up, you can grow up, you can grow up like me.